The world is watching the Middle East with bated breath. Recent American airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities after a brief conflict with Israel have pushed the region to the brink. The goal: dismantle Iran's nuclear capacity, the ambition: regime change. This is a geopolitical earthquake, with tremors felt in Moscow and Beijing. Russia and China see the fall of Tehran as a threat to their global standing and interests. For them, Iran is a linchpin in their strategy to counter American dominance. Their support for Iran is driven by cold, hard calculation, not ideology. The so-called Axis is a transactional alignment, united more by opposition to the US than by shared vision. They won't let Iran fall easily, even if their fight is through proxies and economic warfare. The world now faces immense fragility, with decisions in Washington, Moscow, and Beijing poised to shape the future. The stakes: regional stability, global power, and the risk of a devastating new conflict. To understand today's crisis, look to history. US-led regime change, from the 1953 Iran coup to the 2003 Iraq invasion, has left deep scars. Russia and China see these interventions as ongoing threats, not just history. For them, defending Iran is defending their own sovereignty against Western encroachment. Past regime changes unleashed chaos. Media group destroyed urban streets in Middle East aftermath of bombings in Baghdad. Refugees fleeing conflict zones distribute equally. Iraq's invasion led to sectarian violence and ISIS. Libya's intervention created civil war and instability. Russia and China see the push against Iran as another reckless gamble, likely to spark civil war and empower extremists. Preserving Iran's state, despite its flaws, is a pragmatic choice to prevent regional catastrophe. At the heart of this crisis is energy. Russia fears a pro-Western Iran would threaten its dominance over Europe's gas market. Iran's vast gas reserves could supply Europe, undermining Russia's leverage. Moscow's energy exports fund its military and economy. A new competitor in Iran is a nightmare scenario. For China, Iran is a vital oil supplier. 90% of Iran's oil goes to China, often at a discount. A regime change would jeopardize this lifeline, forcing China to seek costlier alternatives. The oil trade also helps China internationalize the yuan, challenging the dollar's dominance. Every barrel traded in yuan chips away at US financial power. A pro-Western Iran would halt this, reinforcing the dollar-centric system. For both Russia and China, supporting Iran is about securing energy and advancing strategic ambitions. Losing Iran would be a blow to their economic and geopolitical goals. Iran is central to China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The BRI aims to create overland trade routes bypassing US-controlled choke points like the Strait of Malacca. Iran is the linchpin of the China-Central Asia-West Asia Economic Corridor, connecting China to Europe. Stability in Iran is essential for this plan. Regime collapse would shatter China's overland strategy. The 25-year China-Iran partnership promises massive investment in exchange for oil. A pro-Western Iran would halt or reverse these projects, turning a strategic asset into a barrier. For China, Iran is more than a partner. It's a cornerstone of its 21st century ambitions. Keeping Iran stable is non-negotiable for China's global strategy. For Russia, Iran is a crucial geopolitical buffer. A pro-American Iran would complete the encirclement of Russia, giving the US access to its southern flank. The current Iranian regime shares Moscow's suspicion of US intentions, fostering a strong security partnership. Iran distracts and challenges US influence in the Middle East, serving Russia's interests. Military cooperation is deep joint drills, advanced weapons, and drone exchanges. Iran also gives Russia access to warm water ports, expanding its naval reach. Regime change would sever these advantages, weakening Russia's strategic position. Iran is a key part of Russia's defense-in-depth strategy. Losing Iran would be a devastating blow to Moscow's security and influence. For Russia, keeping Iran as a partner is a matter of national survival. The Russia-China-Iran relationship is pragmatic, not a formal alliance. When Iran was attacked, neither Moscow nor Beijing intervened directly. Support has limits. Yet, their cooperation is deep. If one partner falters, another steps in, creating a resilient support network. Military, technological, and diplomatic ties help Iran withstand Western pressure. Russia and China provide advanced weapons, satellite launches, and shield Iran at the UN. This axis is building an alternative ecosystem to challenge Western dominance. Their support is calculated. Ensuring Iran's survival serves their own long-term interests. The alliance is about mutual benefit, not ideology. The collapse of Iran's government would unleash chaos across the Middle East. Iran's network of proxies, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Shia militias, would be left vulnerable, creating power vacuums. New and existing conflicts would erupt, leading to failed states and breeding grounds for extremism. The economic fallout would be global oil prices could skyrocket, triggering recession and inflation, supply chains would be disrupted, and a massive refugee crisis would strain Europe and the region. The risk of escalation between major powers would rise, with cyber warfare and even nuclear confrontation possible. Russia and China fear a second, more violent Arab Spring. The stakes are not just regional, they are global. Preventing this domino effect is a top priority for Moscow and Beijing. We stand at a crossroads. The path of regime change in Iran is fraught with peril, risking chaos, war, and global instability. Russia and China will not stand by. They have woven Iran into their strategic plans. They possess many tools to make intervention costly for the West. The pursuit of regime change risks a global conflict, economic collapse, and humanitarian disaster. There are no winners in such a war, only universal destruction and suffering. The only sane path is diplomacy, de-escalation, and engagement. War is a catastrophe for all. Building peace is always the wiser course.